Welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. I'm delighted to have with us today Ellie, the Product Strategy and Solutions Lead at Voice of Customer Practice, Concentrix. Ellie leads solutions architecture in the Concentrix Voice of Customer Practice, providing strategic traction and guidance to Fortune 500 brands on how to design listening ecosystems that drive profitable growth for the organization. Welcome, Ellie. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Ellie, despite the best intentions, only less than 15% of customer feedback programs are able to deliver our ROI. Why do you feel that's the case?
Yeah, so what we find is that brands do a really good job, exceptional really, at amassing data. They're able to collect behavioral data, financial data, operational data, and demographic information about their customers, in addition to the voice of customer or customer feedback. And that's everything that's really needed to derive powerful insights about the customer experience. But what they're struggling to do is to take action on those insights. And that's usually because they do not have the right structure in place to generate business results. They're usually lacking something along the lines of a customer-focused organizational infrastructure. So they're usually lacking the group that's needed or the framework that's needed to really take those ideas that surface from all of that data and bring them to fruition.
Certainly. Now, one of the other things that obviously comes up time and again is the VOC program itself. What piece of advice would you give an organization that's been historically unable to prove the value of their VOC program?
Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of contributors to this action gap, and one of them is having a limited cultural adoption or organizational buy-in into this VOC program that you have stood up. So what do I mean by that? Employee buy-in is foundational to taking action, because without employees doing all the right things each and every day, your ability to progress the customer experience is limited. They are responsible for delivering the CX. So it's important that they are bought into everything that you're hoping to accomplish. And why is it that they're not bought in? It's because most companies are failing to connect those employees, those on the front line, to the customer feedback that's being received in a way that creates that clear accountability and that daily action planning for improvement. And that failure that is too ingrained, CX in the daily lives of the employees, it inhibits a brand's ability to really make strides. So organizationally, brands must be aligned on the importance of CX and how important it is to listen to your customers. And otherwise, all that valuable insight, regardless of how much data you have, is going to fall to the wayside without the action being taken.
Definitely. And again, this leads me to a very important question again, that if a brand lacks a culture of customer centricity, what steps can be taken to create one?
Yeah, so it really starts by making everyone excited and rally behind the mission. So why is it so important that you're listening to your customers? And what are you expected to do that, to make the customer experience and deliver on the customer experience that you'd like to achieve? So ensuring that everybody is championing around the mission that you have about creating a customer-centric culture. That's step one, is educating and exciting all those employees. Step two is making sure that if there are technologies that they are expected to utilize to tap into those customer insights, are they fully trained and adopted? Are they fully aware of all the tools that are available to their in their toolkits, that they can understand what their customers are saying, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and use those insights on a day-to-day basis? So are they comfortable with the tech or any of the tools that are available to them so that they can use those insights on a day-to-day? And then lastly it's in making sure that they're using it regularly. So I keep saying day to day on a regular basis. It's important that they are not only looking at it on a monthly scorecard or on a quarterly basis. It needs to be something that they're tapping into on an ongoing cadence. Otherwise, the most relevant and useful feedback to them is going to get missed. So making sure that it's part of their daily operating rhythm to look at the feedback that's received, to figure out ways to incorporate it in how they're delivering the experience in the future. So it's this regular cadence and establishing a rhythm of tapping into the insights that are made available to you, so that it's just part of your daily operating rhythm and something that you're utilizing on a day.
Sounds wonderful. Now, what outcomes can a client expect as a result of this focus?
Huge. So this is really important, is that not only are you able to make sure that everybody's bought in and that it's a culturally important to you all to be tapped into CX, but you want to make sure that it's all showing and producing results for you too. So what we've been able to see for some of our clients are massive upswings in customer satisfaction. So when you look at employees who are bought in, they are logging in regularly to see what their customers are saying. They are using the feedback to make improvements on the delivery of the experience. We're seeing a massive increase in satisfaction amongst those customers when compared to their peers who are not tapping into those insights, who are going about their day without looking at what their customers are saying and thinking and feeling. They are just following the protocol and doing what they need to do regularly without thinking about the customers and putting their needs first and foremost. So what we see are big changes in customer service. In fact, we had a healthcare insurer at one point do a side-by-side comparison of two different managers who had frontline employees who were delivering customer experiences themselves. And when you looked at one manager who was really explaining what the importance is of using the insights, making sure that you're understanding what your customers are saying, thinking, and feeling, compared to another manager that was a little bit less engaged, didn't think that it was that important, you saw a 5-point difference in customer satisfaction scores between those two managers and their teams, because one was taking the customer feedback, employing it, using it in their day-to-day coaching, whereas the other one was not tapped in and their results suffered. So it is very, very valuable and important that everybody be bought into the customer experience and aligned around the culture of how important it is to put the customer first and foremost.
Definitely. Thank you, Ellie. It's been a pleasure to have you join us today. And we obviously look forward to meeting you and the Concentrix team at the Customer Experience Live Show in London in October. Until then, take care.
Thank you. You too.